fantastic night.
Yay!
Are we well?
Yay!
Are you well? You look a tad flushed. I'm thinking you might not be used to having such beauty stand before you. And in a uniform too. Aren't you the lucky one? What's your name?
Sam.
Sam. Well, if you start to feel faint, Sam, you let me know. I don't move quick in these heels, but I reckon I'll be there in time for a good chest pressing. Now, what have we got down here? Is this some sort of VIP section? Or a viewing area for the disadvantaged? You like the fancy ones, aren't you? I can tell. Especially you look a right Glamourpuss. What's your name?
Ruby.
Ruby. Well, Ruby, the word on the ward is there's some sort of extravaganza going down here tonight. Is that right?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah? Well, Mr. Gonzalez's medication has finally kicked in. I thought I'll sneak up for a quick mingle and a cheeky volleyball. So have you left?
Yeah.
Have you said me a volleyball?
Yeah.
Where are they? You're lying, aren't you? Oh yeah. Honestly, is this what all those lockdowns have done to you lot?
Yeah.
Endless Zoom parties and rock up Fridays.
Way!
What a volleyball site. What an event. At least you got semi-naked men, it's a start.
Brilliant.
Now, one or two of you might be thinking that there's something different about me. Hang on a second, I've lost my thread.
You're good.
Right. I've even had the urge on for the occasion. Got a patient who's the hairdresser. I said, give me something special for this fancy pants extravaganza. This is what she's come up with. She said, it's Bridget Bardot meets Duffy.
Hey!
I'm not convinced. Maybe I'm just not one for the booth on. Tell you one thing though, fantastic for showing off big bling. Don't get too excited, they're not real. As if I could have full of diamonds. Like all nurses say, we did not train for the money. I trained for the promise of free drugs and sex with cute doctors. That was a lie. There's not that many cute doctors. And these days, you'd be lucky to score a paracetamol. Everything's locked away and signed out. There's no trust anymore. And I do realise that people can feel a little uneasy when you hear about nurses stealing, using pharmaceuticals. I'd like to assure you that every nurse's #1 priority, above all else, is to keep the patient safe from harm. It's true. I'd take a bullet for my patient. It'd be a damn sight less painful than the paperwork in front of an ambulance shop. A stub toe can set me back an hour in reports. I'd be tempted not to bother with the simple stuff, but you know Mary at Cottonelle? Mary's our matron. Mad as a badger and twice as prickly. Like a cross between Kim Woodburn and Hitler. Only with a slightly thicker moustache. And Mary, or Scurly Mary as she's known, is what you'd call old school. Now being old school, she loves the rules, or rather people who stick to them. Which quite frankly is not me. Glamourpuss, what do you think of these shoes? Do you like them?
Beautiful!
Scurly Mary told me after wearing these to work. Says they're not suitable for a clinical environment. Miserable bitch. She says, I want to see you in something black and sensible. From the look on her face, I could have sworn she meant a hearse. That woman, honestly, always telling me off for something. Last week, Mary calls me into her office, accuses me of being unprofessional. Me? Unprofessional? She says it's not appropriate for a nurse to be romantically involved with a doctor on the same ward. Do I look like I qualified yesterday? I put her straight, I said, Mary, that was nothing more than casual sex. What nurse in the right mind would date a doctor? They're hard work. Last doctor I dated, handsome chap. He was 6 foot and 4 inches. Sadly, that was 2 separate measurements. But he was a surgeon. I thought, what he lacks in size, he'll make up for with his nimble fingers. Couldn't have been more wrong. After operating all day, they were worn out. Used to claim they got cramps. That came to an end when he mistook the hand sanitizer for lube. Never moved so quick in my life. Have we got any nurses in? Bloody hell, gosh. That does surprise me. I I didn't think we could afford to leave the house after that last pay cut. Do we do NHS discount here? I tell you, that was one good thing about the pandemic. It certainly put us nurses on the map. We had offers and discounts coming out of our ears. I came away with subscriptions to meditation apps, year's membership to a car club. It was 10% off at Morrison's right through. Finally, it pays to be a nurse. The best of it was these lovely care packages we sent in from local businesses. Honestly, I don't think a day went by we didn't have a great big box full of soaps, hand gels, other toiletries. Obviously, after a long day at work, there's no better way to relax than to go on and wash your hands. And these boxes had always been made up of mostly generic stuff, handful of fancy bits, and then one or two expensive items for everyone to squabble over. Often wonder what it'd be like if the local erotic stores had got involved. Everyone would get a flavoured lube. Handful of people would get something a bit more exotic, like, oh, I don't know, a set of nipple clamps. And then all the senior nurses would have a meeting over who'd get the 8-speed squirmy router. Right, that'll finish Mary off, no end. As you may have gathered, I am an experienced nurse. And as such, I've got some words of wisdom for you about the profession. A sort of masterclass. I've broken it down into 6 main areas, each with a word beginning with the letter C. It's my very own 6 C's of nursing. But, before I go any further, I'm afraid the management of this venue think you lot might be a tad delicate. They told me to issue a trigger warning. Honestly, I took one look at you, I think they're as rough as they come. But, rules are rules. I wouldn't want to be manhandled and dragged roughly from the premises. Not this area, at least. So, this is serious. Some of what I'm about to say, or rather the manner in which it's delivered, how can I put this? I need to tell you, it's quite triggering actually. Look, there's going to be some spoken word poetry. My name is Brandy Bex and I use poetry.
You got this!
I've been using poetry for a few years now. Started innocently enough. 1 or 2 limericks at parties. Before you know it, you're hooked. Those rhymes. These days it's just the occasional haiku. I'm usually fine. There's something about you lot all warm and fuzzy. I just know I can be myself and that you'll be kind. So, Glamourpuss, Ruby.
Yeah?
Can you think of any words beginning with C that might relate to nursing?
Can't.
As in, nurses are cunts or... Where are we going with that one?
It.
Oh, as in...
Yeah.
What do you want to nurses? I suppose more for the nurses as opposed to what we deal with. Let's swiftly move over to Sam. Sam, do you know any good C words that relate to nursing?
I go with caring.
Ah, my God, that was one of the original 6. Right, you're not a nurse, are you?
Oh,
Thank God for that. Bloody hell, with compassionate communication, that. It's a lovely idea, but it didn't make my top 6. How about charisma? In nursing, it's easy to get in a tangle with shit coming at you from every angle. There are patients complaining, their relatives moan, and cheeky young doctors not knowing the score. But don't get despondent or start spinning out. Tap into your talents, go on, use your clout. I'm telling you straight, it'll do you no harm. To pull out the stops, hit them with charm. So work on your flirting, your spiel and your patter. Fake it to make them all feel like it matters. And if they're too shrewd and won't be misled, just go on your break, ignore them instead. Number 2. Number 2, cursing. Now, effing and jeffing all day, every day is not very classy and never okay. But sometimes on shift, I'm afraid it is true that only a well-chosen swear word will do. So when pesky patients are driving you spare, your day's going badly, you're needing to swear. When nothing is working on lifting your mood, well, hang us loose, shout something rude. Number 3, cocktails. They're obvious once you're wearing. A cocktail cocktail or two whilst at work might seem wrong, but you have to remember the shifts are quite long. And a swift Bloody Mary while you're on your break, it's a much needed kick that'll keep you awake. Those afternoon drug rounds aren't such an ordeal, when met with a daiquiri's exotic appeal. The job can seem dull when there's notes that need writing, but add a Bellini, it's much more exciting. And when you're approaching the end of your shift, a few whiskey sours to give you that lift. Hand over your patience and shrug off that load with a quick margarita as one for the road. Number 4, in my 60s, costume. Uniforms can be sexy. I won't argue there. But our nurse's get-up is lacking some flair. The high neck, the low hem, this boxy sleeve, in cheap scratchy fabric that won't let you breathe. Now sadly our options are thin on the ground, as changes in policy won't come around. But all is not lost if you just do your best. Add in some glamour, stand out from the rest. Accessorise wildly and do it your way. Lace it with jewellery and heels that can slay. Accent that tunic with whatever fits. And those handsome doctors, they'll check out your... Sam? Blitz. Oh God, I'm an NHS professional. Number 5, cuddles. I'll admit there are days I get worn out with caring, as the energy needed can often seem wearing. And time after time I think on reflection, that maybe it's nurses that need that affection. So if when you're finding it all a bit much, you're feeling a longing for physical touch, don't let your emotions get all in a muddle. Just grab a cute doctor, go and have a cuddle. This job isn't always as fun as you think. Some shifts are a nightmare with tasks that can stink. There are bodily fluids all over the place. They land on your legs, they fly in your face. I've had wound juice upon me from an oozy gash. Piss bags have burst, I've been caught in the splash. The number of times I've been tempted to quit after ending up covered in vomit and spit. Now, there's nothing attractive in smelling a doom, but all is not lost with a dab of perfume. So my best advice, so that no one can tell, is when you've washed off your patient, break out the Chanel. This job can be great, but then also a curse. But take on my word, you'll find it a breeze with following Brandy's essential 6 C's. Thank you. It takes a special kind of person to be a nurse. Somebody gentle, but also strong and able to deal with a lot of shit. Bit like a toilet roll and less appreciated during the pandemic. But all that COVID malarkey is behind us now, isn't it? Eh? It's all about the monkeypox this year. That's what's in fashion now. I believe the plague of locusts is due by November. Christ knows how Mr. Gonzalez will cope with that. But I've got a bit of time before I have to get back to him. So, I'm going to come down and have a mingle. Take a few selfies, have a dance. There'll be no inappropriate touching, I promise. Well, maybe a little inappropriate touching. But I will warn you now, I'm on monkeypox watch. So anyone with even the slightest hint of a pustule, you're going to be scrubbed down with bleach and wire wool. Can't say fairer than that. Right, I shall see you out there. Ta-ra!